This stuff's always fun, man. This is a dignitary now. This is the Bay Area's own, and, just someone who you think of when you think of the Niners and the Seahawks. And it's none other than the great Coach Mike Holmgren joining us right here on Willard and Dibs. Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good, guys. How's it going? We got a game tomorrow.
That's what I heard. Yeah. What do you think of this thing, huh?
Hey, it's pretty exciting. The people up here are very excited. You have two really fine football teams, two great coaches. It's going to be a very electric situation. Oh, I can't wait.
Can you relate at all to anything in your career to what Kyle Shanahan and his staff have had to deal with this year in terms of injury adversity?
You know what? It's amazing. No, I had my last year of coaching the Seahawks, and we wound up winning 4 games. We lost a lot of people to injury, a ton of people. And what they have done after losing Bosa and the linebacker, and it's amazing. It really is. And so give them they deserve a lot of credit for that. Now, they have some people that have stepped up. But now Kittle's gone too. You know what? They can be really proud of where they've gotten to, but I know they want more.
Yeah, and more would have to come at the expense of the Seahawks, and then maybe more the week after. We always talk about next man up as a mentality, Coach, but in reality, how hard is that to find a guy like the Niners, 2 linebackers off the street, and get them up to speed?
No, it's very difficult. It's very difficult, particularly when you're replacing the caliber of players that got hurt. And so that's what I mean. I mean, it is, you guys said it, it's kind of startling. It's amazing. And, Shanahan should receive a lot of credit for what that team has done this year.
Mike Holmgren joining us here on Willard and Dibs, 95.7 The Game, and getting ready for all of the playoff games this weekend. But obviously, Niners and Seahawks is where our attention is. Coach, I wonder your expertise on kind of what happens between coaches, especially division rivals, when they play each other more than once in a short period of time. Like, what dynamics are McDonald and Shanahan going through because of that?
Well, I think they're both talking to their teams. They played the first game of the year and then the last game of the regular season, that the game's going to be different than the last time we played them. Now, as far as the type of things they're going to do and try and do and change, they'll put some wrinkles in, but they'll also do what they do best, because you don't want to change dramatically, even though the teams know you pretty well. When I was with the 49ers, we went to the Super Bowl one year, but we played the Rams 4 times, one in the preseason, twice in the regular season, and then in the NFC Championship game. And so we lived through that. You don't change too much. You put some wrinkles in there that hopefully they haven't seen, but then your players have to really execute and do what they do best, and that's how you win the game.
And when you look at this game in particular, if it mirrors last time they played a couple weeks ago, it would be a Seattle ferocious defense and them able to run the ball. What has been the evolution of particularly the Seattle run game this year, Coach?
Well, I think their offensive line, I think they really have 2 really good running backs in Walker and Charbonnet. They're very good. I think we're up front, they've had to mature, they've had to get together. They've had a couple of injuries up front, but the running game is really your offensive line. That's really what it is. And so they cranked it up and looked very, very good their last time against the 49ers. Now, I expect to see a different ball game, though. Now, I really do. Because the 49ers are a better football team than they showed, but the Seahawks have a great defense, but it'll be a different type of game. And I think it'll be close, and we'll just see what happens.
I'd love to hear more about that, Coach, because I think that's exactly what 49er fans are hoping for. Like, why do you feel the Niner offense will look different this time around?
Well, I think, one, they'll protect Purdy better. The Seahawks really played an outstanding football game the last time against the 49ers, and they did it most of the time just with their 4 down linemen rushing. I think the 49ers will have an answer for pass protection, and that'll allow Purdy to make his throws. He didn't have much time in that last game, and so that determined a lot. So I think that'll be a different look right there. I think it'll be tough. I think they're working against the run. It'll be tough to run the ball like the Seahawks ran the ball last time. You know, and I go back, listen, guys, I go back to in Seattle, we lost to the Bears on Monday Night Football 39-0 one year. We came back and played them in Chicago in the playoffs, and we should have won the game. They beat us in overtime with a field goal. So you had two dramatically different games. Same teams, same guys, and that's what happens in the NFL.
And the two games these two teams have played have been remarkably similar. In the first game, the Niners were able to get a late touchdown to win it, and then this game was a low-scoring affair as well. When you look just at Brock Purdy as a coach, what do you think of what he's done so far in his career?
I think it's remarkable, guys. It really is. You know, and I don't know him. I hope someday I get to meet him and chat with him a little bit. He seemed to be kind of a humble guy. The guys love him. And he doesn't have the most powerful arm in the world. He really doesn't. But he's accurate. He's smart. He's prepared every week. And what he has done, being the last guy picked in the draft, you can't say that about many people ever in the history of the league. So the 49ers are happy they have him. He deserved the contract he got, and now he just has to stay healthy.
Coach, obviously you know this so well, that city, that building, the noise that it creates. A lot of people said last week, boy, you're going into a hostile Philly environment, and the Niners handled that very well. Brock Purdy is 4-0 in this building. What, in your mind, home field advantage means what in this game?
Well, to me, it meant everything. And now I think since the first game to now, the crowd has changed. You know, they were waiting to see what happened. They got a little bit. It wasn't quite as noisy, but now it's going to be cranked up crazy. I remember the last game of Joe Gibbs' coaching career. We played them in the playoffs, and after about 3 weeks later, he phones me up, and I had known him. He was the coach at USC when I was there, and I coached against him. And he goes, Mike, you know, I got a recommendation for a coach. I said, great. He goes, tell me, I know you piped in noise. Did you pipe in noise? I said, Coach, we didn't pipe in noise. He goes, oh, come on. We've known each other a long time. You can tell me. And I said, honest, I wouldn't lie to you. We didn't. That's just the way they get cranked up. He goes, okay, stop. He goes, sometime you'll visit me back in my motor thing in North Carolina, and you'll tell me the truth. I said, I'm not lying to you, Coach, honestly. So they're going to be cranked up. It'll be as loud as it's ever been.
Yeah, 10 years since the last home playoff game. That makes perfect sense. Mike Holmgren here on 95.7 The Game. Sam Darnold has been a meteoric quarterback. He was highly drafted, then he struggled, and he had a little bit of a resurrection. How's he look to you this year in his first year in Seattle?
You know, he has looked good. I'm a little puzzled, and sometimes I get a little ticked off about, you know, he's done – the team is where they are. They got a great defense, but they're where they are because of the play of the quarterback. The quarterback is the most important person on your team, and without him, it's tough to get there. And he's had a remarkable season. Now, he threw the 4 interceptions against the Rams, and everyone's saying, okay, and then the thing he did with Minnesota last year, and he said he can't win the big one and all that kind of stuff. He is really a good player. And you know what? Unless the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, if they were to lose to the 49ers or maybe the next week lose to somebody, the people will still say, oh, it's Darnold. Darnold is one of the reasons they're there. And I really like him. I hope people get off that bandwagon a little bit, and we'll see. It's an important game, and he has to play well. There's no question about that. But he's a good quarterback, and the Seahawks are lucky to have him.
Mike, if you had a vote for Coach of the Year, who would you give it to?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. But I got to go. I got to go with the home guys. You know, Mike McDonald. I think in his second year, what he's done. He's a young guy. You know, it's really remarkable. He has had a great year, and it's close. And then Kyle, of course, what he's done. We talked about it earlier because of injuries and what he's done to bring the team this far. That's another one. It's going to be close. Maybe they line out 2 of them this year.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, gosh, there's a lot of great candidates. Vrabel, Ben Johnson. Hey, now, Coach, I get it. You're there now. You keep referring to Seattle as home, and I know people here in the Bay Area want you to say that this is home. What's going on there, Coach?
Well, it's kind of crazy because we still have the home in Scotts Valley in California.
Okay.
And we're down there for this summer. And I really love it down there. I love it. I grew up right in this. I'm a city kid, as you know. And it's a great place, and it was so good to me. And when I got the job with the 49ers, I said, it couldn't get any better than this. And then I bounced around a little bit and got a couple more jobs. They've all been really kind to me, and I loved them.
Yeah, we're not feeling too jealous because, you are from the city, and, well, you still have a home here, so we at least get you 3 months out of the year, Coach.
There you go. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Now, I saw you never won Coach of the Year. Is that something that coaches really care about, or is it just kind of window dressing after the fact and what you're already doing?
No, I think I should have been Coach of the Year 5 or 6 times. I don't know what the voters. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't.
Man, yeah, agreed. So, Coach, all right, before you go, and we won't make it just about Niners and Seahawks, I'd love to hear a thought or two about how you think all 4 games are going to go this weekend. What do you think about the Bills and Broncos?
The Bills and Broncos, I think, the Broncos have had a great year, and I know Sean Payton. I know some of the coaches pretty well, Sean, I know. But I think it's tough for me to bet against Josh Allen. I just think it's going to be a great game, and I would pick Buffalo in a close one. Okay,
and then what do you see with the Patriots hosting that Texans defense?
I think the Texans defense will really make it hard for the rookie quarterback. Although you got to just tip your hat to him. He's done a great job there in New England. But I'm going to go with the Texans on that one.
Okay, and what about the frigid Sunday night game with the Rams in Chicago?
Oh, boy. Those cold games. I was the coldest guy on the field when I was in Green Bay, honest to goodness. I wore everything I could possibly wear, and I was amazed the players could do it. But I would say the Rams, it's a challenge for the Rams, particularly if Stafford's finger doesn't like the cold, but I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay, and then Seahawks and Niners.
And remember, You're from the city. I shouldn't have to remind you, but there is that.
The Seahawks and the Niners, they're playing tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's tomorrow, Coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see a good football game and no one gets hurt. That's what I want to see.
That's awesome right there.
That's a good answer, Coach. Yep. It's a good answer. Hey, always fun to hear your voice. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. And listen, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Mike Holmgren right here on 95.7 The Game.